Folks, Vitek here from Wani, and with us today we have one and only Mille Petrozza of Kreator. How are you doing?
Very good, man.
Man, 2017 is going to start on a brutal note with the new record, Gods of Violence, which took 5 years, almost 5 years. I know you guys are stoked, and so are the fans, but why it took such a long time in the making?
It didn't seem that long, to be honest, because we have been touring so much, and I think in order to come up with something relevant and something exciting, it's definitely important to take some time off, you know, and that's what we did. We did after the extensive touring circle for Phantom Antichrist. We just took almost not 2 years off. We played a couple of festivals, but basically we didn't do much in 15 and up until now 16. You know, those 2 years were free of any touring, long touring, and so being able to do this it's a luxury, but it was also necessary in order to come up with something great, you know.
Indeed. And musically, the album continues where Phantom Antichrist left. I mean, you guys have taken the brutality and the melody to the next level on Gods of Violence. Was that sort of a conscious decision to follow a path where you're injecting melody and brutality equally?
Not conscious, really. It wasn't necessarily conscious. We just wanted to write new songs that are just wow, you know. I think that's basically what we had in mind. So no, not consciously, but definitely. One thing that we're all conscious about was the fact that we needed to come up with an album that blows everyone away.
Right.
So we take everything that whatever it takes, you know, we do, and that's the only conscious decision that we made. Is like the top Phantom Antichrist and come up with something exciting.
Right.
I guess that's the key.
Indeed, definitely. And lyrically, you know, it's your department. I mean, the album reflects the hate that has infuriated people around the world, you know, be it the religious fights. In fact, you know, the album is more or less, influenced by the Paris attacks. And then you have people killing people in the name of religion. It's literally a World War III in the making. So these are the topics you've explored on the record. Was it something which obviously you came across, made you think, and then obviously, you know, you wanted to unleash it through the Kreator album?
Yeah. Like you said, it's always, Kreator albums always dealt with current events, even though I'm not a big, I'm not so keen about politics. I'm not a fan of politics. You know?
Right.
I couldn't care less about politics. Politics don't interest me. It's just most of these topics and the conflict come from source that are from sources that are directly linked to politics and religion. I have overcome politics. I have overcome religion. To me, it's not important, but it seems like a lot. It's still very, very important for a lot of people, you know,
right.
And for the reason for a lot of war and wars and terror in the world. So.
Sure.
I wish I could write about something else, about something more that's more fun, you know. But, on the other hand, the message of the album is to keep sane and enjoy life and be positive, think positive. So even though there's song titles like World War Now or Totalitarian Terror or Taking Real on this record, it's still a very, very positive message.
That sounds really good, because the way you, of course, the brutality is there, which I still hear, but you bring in those softer tones, the acoustic parts in the title track. In fact, the beginning couple of seconds are like that. Then you have Lions and Eagle Wings, and also the last track, Death Becomes My Light. You've kind of got the sense of feeling that the storm is about to unleash. right at the very beginning.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and especially the soft vocals before you actually scream your heart out. So love the combination you've brought in. Obviously, you had some acoustic elements in Phantom Antichrist, and here you brought them on a much different tone. So good to see how you guys are bringing in some creative ideas on the table, and obviously, acoustic guitars are always welcomed.
Yeah, absolutely, and get into a certain mode and a certain to get the song to a certain level,
right,
of certain songs into a certain level of intensity. It is important to change from melodic and soft into brutality.
Right.
I think it's just a trademark that Kreator has followed for many years.
Absolutely, and you brought in some guests as well. You have the Fleshgod Apocalypse doing some orchestra on a couple of songs. Then you got some Hail to the Hordes has a sort of a bagpiper from an Extremo. So you've got good number of guests on the record. Was it sort of a planned decision to bring in because this album is on a grand scale? There's a lot going on in the background. So the addition of orchestra actually made it even sound grandeur.
Maybe, yeah. It wasn't too much of a plan. We didn't come up with a plan of who should be on the album and who should be what kind of guests we want to work with.
Right.
It was basically a something that we have come up with while we were in the studio, and we were like seeing how things developed with the album, and all of a sudden, we felt, okay, this should be an orchestration, and this should be there should be bagpipes, and then we asked our friends on in Extremo, and it was quite natural how these things came about.
That's really good to hear. And obviously your good friend Jens Bogren he's part of the Kreator family. You love working with him. And I remember seeing the Phantom Antichrist, the extra bonus DVD where he brought in some crazy ideas. And I'm sure on this record he would have done the same. So how was it working him this time around in Oribro?
It was fantastic. We had a great time, and it was just we knew the location, we knew the studio,
right,
and it was really cool. And it was summertime this time also. It was a lot easier, really. I mean, it was nice.
Good to hear that. And Mille, there's a song called "Satan Is Real." I want to talk about this. This is something which I connected immediately. You're pouring your heart out by screaming the track name. What is the agenda behind this song, in general?
I was referring to the relevance of religion in this day and age. It's not that I believe that Satan is real. Of course not. It's more or less it's when you're in the year 2016, you would figure out that religion wouldn't be so important nowadays anymore,
right?
And it is still. So we have when I wrote these lyrics, this is what the song talks about.
Sounds really great, Mille. And you're 14 studio albums down, and one thing which I really respect about Kreator is you guys are a perfect team together. You value the bond, you value the lineup, and you all are family together. So also you give freedom to other guys to chip in the ideas. Maybe this is one of the most important catalysts in bringing fresh ideas, even after writing songs. Like 3 decades now, isn't it?
Oh, almost, yeah. No, 3 decades, yeah, absolutely.
Right. So, how do you ensure that the quality of writing is still there? Because if it all goes on your shoulders, I'm sure it kind of builds up a pressure. But there you have Sammy, Venter bringing in the ideas. Must have been more relieving to have such great songwriters in the team along with yourself.
Absolutely. Like you said, it's essential for us to be a team. And, yeah, That's absolutely one of the reasons why the band's still going and it's still going so strong. I guess that's where we come from. We've always worked like that, and it was always very important for us to make sure that's also reflected in our music.
Definitely, it's good to hear, Mille. So, if you had to sum up the album "Gods of Violence" in a sentence, what would you say?
It's very intense Kreator music for the year 2016.
For the year 2016. Perfect. You guys are going on tour with, Sepultura. It's a wonderful package. I mean, the biggest I've seen from last 1 year, and I'm sure fans in Europe are going to love. Any plans heading to States sometime next year?
Yeah, that's the plan. We'll be headlining the Decibel tour next year.
Lovely.
Yeah.
That's good to hear, Mille. Thanks a lot. I saw you guys live in India, Bangalore, open air, first edition. That was your first gig.
Okay.
And we'd love to see you back here in India sometime soon.
Oh, man, I would love to come back to India.
That would be great. Mille, thanks again. You have a wonderful day ahead.
Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.